what is good? Thank you so much for once again stopping back by. I really do hope that you're going to enjoy this week's video so that you can keep coming back for more. In today's video, as you can already tell in the title, we are doing the 12 areas of life, and I'm gonna let you guys know where this video is coming from, why I'm doing this video, and I'm gonna explain. Okay, I know that it's something a bit different on this channel, but we're gonna get into that. But first, it is so cold. It is so cold in Durban, hence why we have a little throw situation going on here. So please get comfortable, please get yourself your throw, get cozy. It's cold, and let's have a big sister chat. I would love to believe that a lot of people that watch my channel are like younger than me, or like my age, or slightly older than me. But okay, let's have a big sister chat, or let's have a sister chat if we are around the same age. If you're interested in watching that, do keep watching this video till the end. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe. Let's get straight into it. Hey guys, so I have everything written in my famous diary. This diary has turned out to be my YouTube planner, honestly. So this video was inspired. Okay, let me talk about my personal inspiration to do this video. This video was inspired by a gender woman. So if you don't know what a gender woman is, it is a podcast by Nomdeni Mdaki where she like sits down with different women and sort of, you know, unpack life, well-being, and living smart, as she would say. So she did this whole video that about the 12 areas of her life that I am about to do for my life. So when I watched the video, I was like, this is really something I would love to do with my stars. That is something I would love to do personally, Mina, you know, just evaluate and examine my life and the quality, more than anything, the quality of my life, and actually encourage my stars to do the same. Because I know that maybe you watch my channel and you don't watch hers. I just think this is something or a practice that every person should do, every woman should do. So I kind of just want to get this out as much as I can, and you know, encourage other YouTubers to get it out to their audience as much as they can, because I think the wider the reach of people jumping onto this board, or this train rather, the better, you know, because you guys will see as we unpack this video as to why I think it is essential for everyone to sort of evaluate the quality of their life. So this is the reason why I am doing this this exercise. So basically how it works is there's a book called The Book of Life. It is by John Butcher. So she goes on to explain, this being Nomdeni, she goes on to explain that this is the writer of the book who wrote about the 12 areas of life and what they mean and how you unpack them. And after unpacking each area of your life, the writer then encourages that you rate your life. You rate that aspect of your life out of 10. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah, so let's get into it. The first area of my life that I will be unpacking for you guys is health and fitness. So the first thing that came to mind when I did this, so guys, I sat down and I thought about these areas of my life and briefly wrote about them. So I kind of journaled before coming and shooting this video. So the first thing that came to my mind when I saw health and fitness was ultimately just the quality of my life, because I don't think I can achieve anything if I'm not healthy. I don't think anything can be worth it, or I can enjoy any other aspect of life, any other aspect of these areas that I'm still going to talk about, if I'm not healthy. I think health and fitness is probably one of the most important areas, because what can you do if you're unhealthy? What can you do with a body that is unwell, you know? So this is so important. And then in terms of my life, I would say that, excuse me, I'm doing okay when it comes to this. In fact, I'm doing above okay. Like, I'm doing well when it comes to this. I won't lie and say, oh, I'm on a strict diet, or I eat greens only, but I do watch how much I eat. I do watch what I eat, in the sense of, let's say I am going to crave chips, like I'm craving chips, right? I won't eat chips if I've eaten a bar of chocolates in the morning and cookies. then I'll limit myself and say, no, I'm going to eat chips the day after tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'll eat as clean as I can. So I won't deprive myself of having the chips. I'll just keep record of how much junk I've eaten today. If I woke up in the morning and I drank soda, like I drank a glass of Coke, I'll make sure that it's only one glass of Coke a day. I can still have another one if I'm craving one tomorrow, but I limit myself, or I watch what I eat in that sense, that it's not just, I'm very cautious about my intake of sugar, very cautious about how much bad I put in my body. As much as I won't deprive myself, there's nothing that I don't eat. I won't not eat chocolate if I'm craving chocolate, but I'll just monitor how I'm intaking that. In terms of fitness, my fitness has been established from a very young age. I used to be a sporty kid, guys. I used to play sports. I played netball, I played soccer, I did swimming, I did a bit of hockey. So I've always been like an active kid. I went on to go study drama, and drama includes, I did dance as well. So drama includes like a lot of warming up. Like you kind of just have to be physically fit in order to be in the acting space, in order to study drama, because theater, I do musical plays. So guess so I've always, just being active has always been part of my everyday routine because of what I do. So I do think fitness was instilled in me from a very young age. My parents encouraged me to play sports. The school that I went to, I've always played sports. I've always loved sport more than academics. I kind of just went to school to go play sports more than academics. I've always just been that kid, so I think ukuba active was instilled in me from like get-go. How I am fit now today in my life, you guys know that I at the beginning of the year I was going to gym. I'm currently not going to gym, but that's because of like a specific reason that I'll unpack one day. But I'm currently on a break when it comes to gym, so I'm just watching what I'm eating. But I'm not on a permanent break. I'm just on a break now, because of various health reasons. But I will be back. I'll be back at the gym as soon as it's ingrained. So yeah, ultimately, if I'm rating the health and fitness area of my life, I would give it a 9 out of 10. And it's a 9 out of 10 because I'm currently not at gym. It's not my fault. It's for medical issues, but I'm currently not at gym. But if I was normal, I would be at the gym. As you guys saw in like my previous vlogs at the beginning of the year, I was talking about gym. I was ranting about gym every day in every vlog. Anyway, I'm going to try not to dwell too much on each life area because there's 12 to go, and I don't want this video to be too long. The next life area is intellectual life. When I saw intellectual life, I thought about growth. I thought about learning. I thought about becoming a learned person. This doesn't always have to be academically. This also has to do with who are you sitting with? Who are you engaging with? What are you engaging with? The pages that you are following, is anything that you are following doing feeding your brain, putting in back to you, pouring in back to you? Or is it just a bunch of useless things that do nothing for you, that don't grow you? You don't learn anything. Are you just following a bunch of girls that like wear nice things, or you don't know how they get them? There's nothing to learn. There's just nothing to learn or to take away from. Or are you reading financial books? Are you reading business books? Are you reading whatever it is that you have interest in? So for me, that's what being intellectual is. And well, that's what came to mind. And back into my own life, oh my word, I think I am doing very well in this life area. I am so nitty and gritty about what I watch, what I listen to. I do think part of making myself grow, or part of me becoming a better woman, is the type of podcasts that I listen to. Listening to a podcast is a very huge part of my life now, currently in my life, because I don't always have time to read. I hardly have time to read. So I enjoy listening to a podcast as a form of me reading while I'm driving, while I'm cooking, while I'm bathing. I will listen to a podcast while doing anything and everything. There will always be a podcast playing at my background if I'm doing something. And for me, this is a form of reading. This is a form of equipping my mind. This is a form of me gaining knowledge, because I listen to podcasts that feed me, even the type of pages that I follow. If you go on my Instagram and you look at the type of people that I follow, it's very specific people. It's very specific like type of content that they push. I'm not saying I'm all about learning and there's no form of entertainment. Of course there are things that I'm going to watch that don't necessarily pour into me being intellectual, but it's just for enjoyment. For instance, I enjoy wrestling, typical example. Up until this day, I enjoy WWE wrestling. I can't say I learn anything from it. Those are enjoyment purposes. I enjoy reality TV. I can't say that I learn anything from it, but that's for enjoyment purposes. But then again, I enjoy certain types of podcasts. School, I haven't told you guys this, but I'm back at school this year. I actually start school next month, and oh my god, I'm gonna be in school for the next 5 years of my life. So for me, being intellectual is just, I keep on getting better and keep on getting more knowledge. So that's what that looks like. You guys know I had like a rough time with school, with not being able to complete my thesis because of, if you've been an OG on this channel, you know how that went down. But then recently my mom, she graduated, and oh my word, that girl has pushed me, because me and her were going through the most. I'll try and search pictures of how cute she looked. Me and her were going through the most about school because we were studying together in 2021. We were both doing our, I think she was doing her degree study and I was also completing my degree study. And guys, a degree base rock. So then when she never stopped studying, then I took a break, right? And then Samantha, she was just recently completing her master's. Then this year, I think about 2 months ago, she calls me and she's like, sweetie, have you registered? And I'm like, lapho ngangipuma register that day. And I was like, hey, I've just registered. And she's like, yes, keep pushing. So seeing her graduate with her master's, and she's a mom, it's always his mom actually. She's a mom, she's a wife, she's working a full-time job for that matter. She has a home to take care of. And her still being able to do that for me was just like, no man, I can do this. Like, I have no excuse. So when it comes to being into the intellectual area of my life, I would give that a 7 out of 10, because I thought by now, I didn't think I would ever take a gap from studying. I know exactly what I want to study, to what level I want to study, why I want to study it. So from the time I graduated, my first graduation in 2020, I just thought I'd follow all the way through up until so there's been a bit of delays here and there because of life. So yeah, it's a 7 is too low, guys. No man, it's a good solid 8 out of 10. Yes, per. The next one is emotional life. For me, emotional life is, how do I feel? I am very selfish when it comes to my emotional life. I will not entertain or give space to anything that does not make me feel good. I take pride in how I feel. It's the first thing that I will question when I get to a place. Okay, sure, how do I feel being here? If I don't feel good being in that environment, being around certain people, I will remove myself without even thinking twice about it. As I grow, in my emotions and how I feel, my emotional life has become so important, because this is where my peace comes from. This is where my mental health, guys, is so important, and I encourage you that yours is as well, because if you're okay mentally, you are okay to take on anything. You are okay to pursue passions and dreams. You just show up as a better person if you are okay mentally. So guys, I'm selfish when it comes to my emotional life. How I feel matters more than what somebody else thinks, whether they think it's right, whether they think I should be there or not. If I don't care who thinks what, if I don't feel okay about it, I won't do it, and I won't even feel the need to explain to whoever why I was not there, or why am I there less, or whatever the case is. If I don't feel good about certain spaces, or being around certain people for a certain duration of time makes me feel a certain way, then I'll be there shorter. I'll be there for a shorter duration. I don't hate you. It has nothing to do with it, but it just has to do with how do I feel if I'm constantly around you is so important. And sometimes, to maintain good relationships, to maintain long lasting relationships, we need to not ignore how we make each other feel. So if I can only be with you for 2 hours, I need to respect that and understand that anything beyond 2 hours does not make me feel good, because maybe you trigger certain things in me. So in order for us to carry on being okay and maintaining a good relationship, let me just obey and stick to the 2 hours without feeling awkward, because once I start feeling awkward, or once I start feeling a certain way, the energy is going to be off. Once I start not being emotionally okay, the energy is going to be off. So for me to always be grand, I just need to operate in how I feel for that time. I don't know if it makes sense. So emotional life, oh my word, I'd give myself a 9.5. I'd give myself a 9.5 because of how much I'm aware of my emotions, and how much I don't try and fake my emotions or pretend like my emotions are not what they are, or like they're invalid. All my emotions are valid. I never feel bad for how I feel. I never feel like, oh, I shouldn't be feeling. No, I feel a certain way and I validate that without the next person validating it, whether you think it's wrong or right for me to feel like that. If I feel like that, I feel like that, and that's all I have to acknowledge. The next one is character. So when I saw the life area of character, for me, it had a lot to do with how do I make other people feel? How do I show up for other people as much as I show up for myself? How do I make the friends in my life feel? How do I pour into my mother as her daughter? How do I pour into my husband as his wife? How do I pour into my students as a teacher? How do I pour into my siblings as a sister, to my workmates as a colleague? All these roles that I play, how do I pour into them? What does my character look like? When someone is with me, do they leave feeling encouraged or discouraged? Do they leave feeling optimistic, or do they leave feeling, am I a draining person? Am I an uplifter? When I walk into the room, what's the energy that I pose? So for me, character had a lot to do with that. For me, character is also the inner work that I do to myself, where I make sure that I'm good. In order to make other people feel good, I always need to take care of this person first. And for me, making other people feel good is not intentional. I don't wake up saying, I want to make people feel good. The only thing that is intentional to me is doing right. Doing right, playing my part. I don't want to say I wake up to make other people feel good, because then that's giving people pleasing. I am not a people pleaser. But also, in fact, I think I'm the opposite of people pleaser. I will always stick to what I think and what I feel is right in that situation. Regardless of who you are, the right thing is what I will always follow through. And most of the time, the right thing, if the other person's intentions are in place as well, most of the time I will never you will hardly do the right thing and then the person receives it a wrong way, if I make sense. So for me, character development has a lot to do with just showing up for other people the way that I should, not overcompensating, not over showing up, but also not under showing up. Also not just completely ignoring what I'm supposed to do because I don't feel like it. I'll always do right, or at least I'll always try to do right, regardless of everything else. The right thing is what needs to be done. So for me, that's what character is, when I saw the area character. And I think for that part, I'd also give myself a 9 out of 10. Yeah, I'd give myself a 9 out of 10. The next part is spirituality. When I saw spirituality, I automatically thought about my beliefs. I thought about, what does asiphest believe in? What does asiphest stand for? And the answer to that was very quick. And it was, asiphest believes in God, and asiphest believes in her ancestors. Those are the two things that asiphest believes in. The power of the universe for me is God, because I do think the universe is controlled by God. The universe is instructed by God. So other people have their own beliefs where God and the universe are separate things, I'm not against that. That if that's what you believe in, anything that you believe in is it. Anything that I believe in is it. And for the purpose of this video and for the purpose of my channel and what I believe in, God and the universe for me intertwined together. So that's what Asiphest believes in. And how's my relation with that? My relation with God has always been existent, and I think it will always be existent. I may not show up as the best Christian that I think I can be, because I think I mentioned it in one of my other vlogs where I feel like and the more I reach challenges in my life makes it harder for me to show up to God, being vulnerable. Most of the time I'll just be like, God, you deal with my heart, you know what's in my heart, you know what I want. I can't utter, but you know exactly what is going on. And for me it's very important to be able to utter, because the more I utter to God, the more I release, the more I free myself, the more I feel like I heal in whatever that's hurting me, and the more I just feel more heard. Like me verbally saying, God, I need you right now. This situation, one or two, for me makes me feel like he's heard me better than when I just say, uyakwazi ukusenhla ezweni. Like, no, fanele ngikusho lokho kusenhla ezweni okungiphatha kabi. I don't know, maybe it's my theory around it, but like, yes, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Spirituality, I feel like it can get better. I feel like I strive, I'm working on it, I'm praying to get to that place of vulnerability again. If you've ever experienced this, please do let me know down below. How do I get to that place of vulnerability again? I know God is my only option, I know God is my life and my savior, but how do I not give up every time when I try to open my mouth and pray, and not just break down and end up crying and end up just not being able to say, as much as God knows, I still believe I need to be honest enough to myself and to him to be able to utter, even if halfway, even if it takes me an hour to say one sentence, but I need to be able to utter it, and that's part of healing. So drop it down below if you figured that out and if you have ever experienced such. But that's where I am. Spirituality, my ancestors are also a huge part. I don't think I ever separate the two. I think I pray to God and I talk to my grandfathers and my granddad. Sometimes it's not even, I don't even go and light in people. I will just, I do think they see me all the time. They are with me all the time. They are my guardian angels. So I'll just say, hey, yo, Gogo, cool. Yo, this is what's up, and this is how I feel, and this is how I need you to show up for me. So sometimes for me, it's not as much of a process as I need to be in a certain room. I need to light up certain candles. I need certain sometimes I just need just that one-on-one confrontation with them, wherever I am, whether I'm in the car, whether I'm about to enter class, whether I'm in the studio, wherever I am. Sometimes it just takes me calling him or her, my grandfather or my grandmother, and just my aunts, my sister, whatever, and just saying how I need them to show up. I'm nervous, I'm about to do this, show up for me, calm me down. So I don't necessarily separate God and my ancestors that much to a way that I communicate differently when I communicate with them. I light up candles and still pray to God. I light up candles and still talk to my ancestors. So for me, it's not two separate things that need two separate rituals for me to communicate with them. So spirituality, I'd give myself a solid 7 out of 10 because I do feel like it can get better when it comes to that vulnerability parts. The next life area is parenting. So I'm gonna cover this life area because it's part of the book of life, not because I relate to it much, but I guess I can like talk to this area in the future. That for me, when I think about parenting, what came into my mind was raising, I don't know what's going on, raising independent humans that can think on their own, humans that are confident, and humans that are happy. That's what came to mind. So obviously I don't have much to say about this because I don't have a child, but that's what came to mind. Independence. And I hope that one day when I do decide to have kids, that's what I will do, that's what I will thrive to do. That's how my kids will turn out. So yeah, maybe that life area, we'll talk about it but for now I don't feel like I relate to it. But that's what came to mind when I thought about it. Can't rate myself. I can't say for parenting I give myself 10 out of 10 because I don't know, I don't have the experience yet, so we're not gonna rate that. The next one is social life. What came to my mind when I saw the life area social life was engagement, the people that I engage with. What social life looks like for me is being happy and content and being able to enjoy my own space and finding myself entertaining. You know, I feel like I live in my head a lot and I gotta be able to entertain myself because I'm alone most of the time. When I'm not alone, what social life looks like for me, it looks like phone calls with my friends, it looks like video calls, it looks like going out, it looks like lunch dates, brunches, lunches, it looks like dressing up, it looks like makeup, it looks like hair, it looks like getting my nails done, because those are the things that I enjoy. Those are the setups where I get to engage. Social life for me is my social media, the people that I follow, the contents that I enjoy taking in for entertainment purposes forms part of my social life. I do think I am doing well in this area as much as I am growing in this area. This area for me used to be an anything goes type of area where I never really, I just thought everything, like going to the club is okay, it's part of social life. Going to the restaurant is okay, it's part of social life. Now I've learned that I don't enjoy the club. I have nothing against the club, but for me the club doesn't form part of my social life because I don't necessarily enjoy going there. Like, I've been to the club quite a few times. I'm not saying I'll never go to the club, but for me the club is like a once in 3 months thing, so it doesn't necessarily form part of my social life. So I'm at a place now where I know what my social life looks like. My social life is brunches. I enjoy brunches, I enjoy lunches. For me, that's what social life is. I'm not a person who enjoys hosting. So a social life for me will not look like having 20 people in my house. I don't enjoy hosting. I don't enjoy having large numbers of people. I don't enjoy people in my space in general. So for me, hosting people is like a once in 3 months thing. For me, that does not form my social life, and it's okay. I love going to spaces and meeting people. I love going to restaurants and meeting people. I love going to spas with people. But in my personal space, I like keeping that very limited, and that's okay. It's just who I am. Then you get other people that enjoy hosting, that are always hosting, always have visitors around. I'm not that girl. Like, I enjoy being alone most of the time. So I've moved from a point where social life was everything. Social life means I need to be hosting every weekend. It means I have to be out every weekend. It means I need to go to the club every once in 2 weekends. I now have learned what I enjoy or what my social life looks like, and I think I'm doing so well in that. I think I am so content in my own space. I'm so content meeting up for lunches, and my social life is quite good. I have friends, I have people that show up for me, people that I show up for. I have an airplane passing, so if you guys are hearing the noise. So my social life, guys, it's a good 8.5. Good 8.5 out of 10. I feel like giving myself a 10 would be too arrogant for any of the life areas. The next one is financial life. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I do think this is like my weakest. I do think this is my weakest area, because is it my weakest area? I don't know. Maybe it's not my weakest area, but it's the most developing area of my life. Also, if I'm not going to be too hard on myself, I am fairly new to making my own money to the point where I sustain my whole life by myself. Like, all my bills are paid by me most of the time. So I've been making money from second year, right? I've been earning money from 2019, from the time I was in second year. But I had my mom taking care of my medical aid. I had my mom taking care of, like, the large things in my life. And then I take care of everything else, like the small things. So I've always been able to get my hair done, get my nails done. But the bigger things in my life, I've always had my mom take care of it. And the first big thing that I had to take care of myself was rent in 2021, where I was doing my 4th year. But Nakona, I had my mom as a backup plan. I had my parents as a backup plan. I've never had to use them as a backup plan, but I knew. No, Nakona, I still had my medical aid on them. The big things were still on them. It was just rent. It was just rent, okay, and food and everything else. But I'm fairly new in a position where everything is handmade. Everything's so then obviously I am now learning about finances. I'm learning how to use my finances. Also, I've just recently got married, so finances look different now than they did a year ago. And mind you, oh guys, I mean, I've had the most changing life in 2 years, so I've just gotten stable, I've just gotten independent and figured it out how to do it on my own. Now there's another person involved. Now I have to infuse my finances with someone else, and oh yeah, my finances are definitely the most developing area because it's still a trial and error. I'm still learning what works and what doesn't work. I'm still making a lot of financial mistakes. I am still learning about the financial world, the financial industry on its own, the different types of investments, what will work for me now, what doesn't work for me now. I'm still learning. I am still learning. There's a lot of things that I still don't know about finances. So yeah, like this is probably the most developing area of my life. I do think it's gonna get better with time. It's definitely gonna get better. It's not bad, but it's not great because it's still a learning process for me because of, I mean, I'm early 25. I'm a fresh graduate. I'm a new worker in the working space. So I'm finding my feet. Yo guys, I'm still probably crawling when it comes to this. I'm not even a baby that is able to walk like I take 2 steps and give. That's how it looks like. So I'd give myself a 6 out of 10 because I'm still learning. And then the next one is, this video is on 30 minutes already. The next one is the quality of life. So this is an overall rating of all the life areas. My quality of life is good because I feel like the most of the areas that I've just spoken about are fairly good. So I think my quality of life is, I'm off to a good start. And I think it can only get better from here. Where I am, I think I can only grow further. I think I'd give myself a good 9 out of 10 when it comes to the quality of life because I do feel like I'm making cautious effort into taking care of all of the other life areas. And if all the other life areas are good, then automatically my quality of life is going to be good. So hence why it's a 9 out of 10. The next one is life vision. So when I thought about life vision, I thought about, okay, Asifem, what type of girl do you want to be? What type of life do you want to be? If you had to make a wish and it would be exactly that, what life would you like to live? And for me, I'm at a point where I am building towards that life. Obviously, God and the universe are a huge part of this. My ancestors are a huge part of this because there's certain things that I can't control. There's certain things that I can just only hope and pray for, but only God is in control of them. It is only reliant on God's timing. But I do think when it comes to my life vision, I am so within it. My life vision today is definitely not the life vision that I had 3 years ago, right? I think I speak about where I thought I was gonna be and where I am so much, but I've also gotten to a point where I accept where I am, and it's just a thing of, okay, God, show me new purposes, okay? Align me with your alignment, because my alignment for this age of my life clearly is not what I thought it would be. So what is your alignment for 25-year-old Asipe? Align me with that. Make my purposes, my needs, my wants, my desires to align with that, so that I can stop chasing what I thought 25 would look like, what I thought things would be, you know, and I can be happy and be grateful and be able to see what I do have now. Because for the longest time, when I was so stuck at what I thought it would be, where I thought I would be, that I forgot to be grateful for where I am. Where now it was like, oh, nothing good is going on in my life because I'm not where I thought it would be. And so many great things are going on in my life. I won't even sit here and lie. I won't even sit here and be ungrateful. So many great things have happened. So many great things are happening. So many great things are still yet to come. I look at my life and I say, God, you are definitely cooking something up. With how everything is going, I am destined for greatness, and I've never doubted that. It just didn't outplay the way I thought it would outplay. But me, oh, greatness, babe, nothing else. And there's a specific definition of greatness that I have for my life, and I do feel like but slowly but surely we are heading there. Are those monkeys? Did I close my kitchen door? Oh no, it's people from outside. It's the gardener from outside. Yeah. So when it comes to the quality of life, definitely a 9 out of 10. And then is love relationships. Love relationships, I do. So obviously this isn't like my marriage, because I mean, what other love relationship do I have? Except for like the platonic ones, except for like family and stuff. Look, first year of marriage is challenging. First year of marriage is hard. First year of marriage is great. It's an infusion of all of these things that I've said. Challenging, extremely hard, extremely great. I do think it's also part of the learning process, part of the things that I'm learning, because I'm learning to now be married to my husband opposed to dating my husband. When you are dating and when you are married, it is two different things that people think it's the same. People think it's not. It is not. Oh, it is not, my babe. Oh, my babe, it is not. It is not. It's like you're entering a new whole world. But you go into this world thinking that no, man, everything that you did when you guys were still dating is gonna work. It does not. Marriage is like a whole new chapter. In fact, you've closed the whole book and you're opening a new book, and you know nothing about what you're going to find in this new book. That's what marriage is. I don't care how long you've been with your partner. Marriage is a whole new ball game. So it's still fairly new. It's still it's new. It's new, and anything new will be challenging. Anything new will require effort before you can master it and become extremely comfortable in it. But it's amazing. But under the same breath, it is amazing. I would give my love relationship, I would give it a freaking 9 out of 10. Not because every day is great, but because I have that understanding that every day won't be great, and it's part of the learning process. And it doesn't have to be great every day. It's just the choices that we make when things are not great that matter. But yeah, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I would give it a 9 out of 10. Oh, my gents. I'm looking at a picture of him now. Oh, bucket.
Hey stars, so I forgot Career Life, but basically when I saw Career Life from the 12 areas of life, what came into my mind was obviously occupation and what I do for a living. And I asked myself questions like, am I happy? Do I see myself doing this job for a lifetime? And the answer was yes. One thing about my career, it has never stuttered. It may not have went exactly how I've wanted it to go, but it's always been the same. So my career is quite a great part of my life area, and it continues to grow. And career for me also includes my YouTube channel, which has immensely grown. So I think I'm doing okay there by career. Therefore, it is an 8 out of 10.
Anyway, I enjoyed filming this video, and I do think it is so important to go over these life areas. I encourage you to do so because I feel like when you have established these life areas, you are also able to establish if your life and your daily practices are in line with your goals. Because I do feel like we have certain goals, we have certain things that we want to achieve by the end of the year, but it is so important to break down and see if you are in line. Are you doing the things that will get you to that goal in every aspect of your life? Because these aspects work hand in hand. They work hand in hand to each other, and they take out one result, which is the life you are going to live. Ne? So that's why it was so important for me to come out here and share my life areas and encourage you to share your life areas. Or maybe not share, but like do them for the sake of yourself. And yeah, without talking any further more, I totally enjoyed this video. Shout out to Nomdeni for planting this idea in me. I also do feel like my Unomdeni is completely like has a different perspective. Her life is at a different league. She's at a different age. She has kids. She's been married and divorced. So her life areas are completely different from my life areas. My life areas will be completely different from your life areas. Or maybe they'll be similar if we are in the same part or around the same age, or are navigating through the same processes of life. But I just felt like it would be so interesting to come here and share my view. Even if you've watched her view, I do feel like it will feel like a completely different video because of the different life journeys and life stages we are in or we are on. For instance, she's mastered her financial life. Like she goes on about how she's grown in this and how much she has improved in this. And I sit here and I go on about how much I still need to improve and how much I'm still learning and how much I'm still failing in this and how much I am still taking it as it comes and how much I still want to grow and get better and how much I still don't understand the financial world and how much I'm getting to understand because I'm making a cautious effort to learn about my finances. So yeah, it's like different mindsets for different people at different stages of their lives. So that's why I felt like it was so important for me to come out here and share my areas of life and where I'm at in those areas of life. Thank you so much for watching. I totally do hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, to comment, and subscribe. I can't wait for your engagement. I can't wait to know what you guys think of this type of content that is a bit more serious. Yeah, guys, I was thinking one day maybe I'll have my own podcast. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I also do feel like BB Talks is a podcast on its own. It's just that I do it alone. I don't know, but I am looking to expand that part of my YouTube channel. I'm not putting anything out there yet, but I'm just saying I'm in the thought process of developing a podcast myself because I feel like I already do it. It's just that I do it without realizing that this is it. BB Talks is a podcast. But guys, don't take my word for it. Those are just me. That's just me talking the thoughts that run into my head. Because also I enjoy podcasting a lot. I enjoy listening to podcasting a lot. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm blabbing now. See you guys on my next video. But for now, you definitely are a star. Bye, my loves.